this course, and we stay in the field on radical prostatectomy. And I would like to give a little talk about technique of laparoscopic approach for lymphadenectomy. As you know, it's a debate about the place of lymphadenectomy in the field of the prostatic cancer, staging and treatment. And it's a debate about the kind of lymphadenectomy that we have to do, because as you know, the typical lymphadenectomy in prostatic cancer was a very small one. It's considered that it was the ilioobturatrice area which can be involved in the lymphadenectomy. But as you know, this area gives a very small number of nodes, and probably you have a high rate of chance to mistake many possible positive nodes which are out of this field. So it has been developed a notion of more extensive lymphadenectomy that we are going to describe in terms of anatomical landmarks. The third question is about is it a place for the frozen section in prostatic cancer? And the last point will be to define the place and the type of lymphadenectomy depending on the risk factors of the tumor. We can give an answer about questions on the frozen section. At this time, it's without any indication, because no pathologist accept to give a definitive answer on the frozen section of nodes in the prostatic cancer, just because we have too many nodes and just because they are afraid with the risk of mistaking a microinvasive metastasis. So it is admitted that if you perform a lymphadenectomy, for example, for staging of prostatic tumor, you perform lymphadenectomy, you remove the nodes, you give the nodes to a pathologist, and you wait for the definitive result. And if you decide to perform lymphadenectomy in the same time as radical prostatectomy, you perform lymphadenectomy, you perform radical prostatectomy, and you send material to the pathologist. And at this time, you have no strategy of your local treatment for prostate cancer depending on the pathologic results of the nodes. As you know, to define indications of lymphadenectomy, we still use D'Amico classification with 3 levels, and everybody knows this classification, of course, low risk, intermediate risk, and high risk. And every time, it's depending on this classification that we decide if you have or not necessity to perform lymphadenectomy. I said that it was a traditional limit of the template lymphadenectomy, which was very limited, and it is ilioobturatrice area. And now, more and more, when we decide that we need a lymphadenectomy, we move to the concept of extensive lymphadenectomy, and this surface of the areas involved in this lymphadenectomy is very more developed, and I'm going to show you in a small anatomical drawing. This drawing here it's a simplified drawing. You have two kinds of very important landmarks. The first one is iliac arterial pedicule, and you have here the division between the hypogastric and external iliac artery. You have a little error in this drawing, because usually ureter is crossing the proximal part of the iliac artery and not in the division. But this drawing can be used for definition of templates. And so you have four surface of nodes that you have to involve in your lymphadenectomy. The first one is the external limit of iliac artery. Second one is the ilioobturatrice area. The third one is very important. It is the triangle between external and internal iliac artery. And the last one, it's a distal part of the external limit of external iliac artery. And so I'm going to show you a small movie about laparoscopic approach to show you how it's possible to find the good landmarks and to develop the lymphadenectomy in this place. we have theoretically a fifth surface of node, which is the presacral area. It is considered that usually we don't need to go in this place for prostatic cancer, but we have to go in bladder cancer. It's more difficult because it's very medial, frequently it's a deep surface, and frequently you have many veins that you are going to cross, and it can be more difficult because of risk of bleeding. So it is considered that we have not to interest this surface for the prostatic cancer. So, which arguments to defend the concept of external nephrectomy? Of course, more you will find nodes, more you will have a chance to find metastasis, so it will be better for the staging and the good understanding of the level of diffusion of your tumor. But it is increasing in morbidity, and we have had many cases of accidents during this extensive nephrectomy, mainly with close contact with the ureter, and some guys have had division of ureter, coagulation of ureter. So if you decide every time you have to impose a visual control of the ureter on each side to be sure that you are not going to divide the ureter thinking that it's a lymphatic system. Of course, if you want to perform external laryngectomy, the laparoscopic way is a very good way because, as you know, before the years 90, recurrent surgery was with medial incision between umbilicus and the pubic bone, and so it has been proved with the comparative and prospective studies that the quality and the number of the nodes was similar between open surgery and laparoscopy. That means that you can be sure of the high quality of your lymphadenectomy with the laparoscopic approach. Of course, you reduce morbidity, and again, we say that if we use laparoscopy for this lymphadenectomy, you reduce the risk of bleeding, and so you have many arguments in terms of quality of outcomes for the patients and in terms of quality of surgical job for you. Eric said that if you want to go to a pelvis, you can use extraperitoneal or transperitoneal rod. It is considered that if you have just a limited lymphadenectomy, of course, you don't need to pass in intraperitoneal rod, but if you need to go back and to develop your superior dissection to approach the proximal part of iliac artery, it's very difficult in extraperitoneal access because you have to push away very highly space between peritoneal and the vessels. And so we used to say that if you need extensive lymphadenectomy, it's better to use the transperitoneal rod immediately. So it's the case of this patient. So we have a checking of the vascular structures. It's the right side, iliac artery. Usually I start with the left side because it seems to me to be the more difficult access just because we have contact with the sigmoid loop. And the first part of the surgical job will be to incise the peritoneum in contact with the rod of primitive iliac artery, to move to the middle line, the sigmoid loop, and to give a complete access on the vessels, iliac arteries and veins. So we push away peritoneal incision to the distal part of the field. You have umbilical artery, which is here. You have iliac vein, which is here. You are crossing the rod of deferent vas that you are going to divide, and progressively you go back to the superior limit of your peritoneal incision to be sure that the sigmoid loop will be pushed on the middle line and will give you access to the primitive part of iliac artery. So very nicely you find a ureter which is crossing the rod of this iliac artery, and this crossing rod will be the superior limit of your place of lymphadenectomy. So to be sure of a complete and safe respect of the ureter, you perform a small ureterolysis in contact with the iliac pedicle. So it will be possible to push the ureter itself and to get free the triangle between the external and internal iliac artery. So you are going to observe that this job of laparoscopic lymphadenectomy is not a difficult one. You have just to be very carefully. You have just to understand that the good plane of dissection, because it's a surgical, it's a vascular surgery, the good plane is just in contact with the vessels themselves. and you find the space, and you see here we are going to develop a complete lateral and posterior dissection of the iliac artery, and we are going to remove all the back of nodes, which is placed in contact with the external limit of iliac artery and psoas muscle. On the same way that we explained for the technique of the psoas in neurotoral inversion, we have to be aware of this genitofemoral nerve running on the psoas muscle. You have to avoid any coagulation or peaking of this nerve, and progressively we develop the space between the nodes and the vascular systems, and to avoid and to reduce the risk of lymphoray and lymphocell, we used to perform selective clipping of the bigger lymphatic vessels to limit the risk of leaks. This kind of metallic clip, it's 3 to 5 millimeter clips, and they are very useful for the small selective control of the lymphatic system. So here, out of the risk of genitofemoral nerve injury, you have no risk because you have just artery, the muscle, and the fat. And theoretically, we have already prepared a bag in the Douglas pouch, and each pack of node will be immediately placed in the bag, just to be sure of not let and forget a pack of node in the peritoneal space. So this technique is clearly a surgical technique. That means that you have to give you the time to do a good job. It's not so difficult, but it can be dangerous if you are if you go too fast, if you don't take the safety rules for the vascular dissection. So it's not difficult, but you have to accept that it's time consuming. And we used to say that at least this kind of bilateral lymphadenectomy needs between 60 and 90 minutes of laparoscopic job. So we say that we have to scleretize completely the vascular pedicles. That means that we are going now to start dissection between artery and veins, because behind the artery and between artery and veins we have nodes. So we have to separate artery and veins, and progressively we are going to approach what is called ilioobturatrice area, but in fact it's all the layer of nodes running in contact with the vein and starting from the ureter and going to a cloacae ligament. That means that as much as possible we try to remove in block all the internal pack of the lymphatic system. So here it's umbilical artery that you can move without any risk. And behind the umbilical artery, you start to discover branches of division of the hypogastric artery, which are bladder arteries and vesicoprostatic arteries. So we have a very nice anatomical approach of the vascular system. We can note that the space of the section are very simple to find, and your job is just to push, to separate, and very rarely to cut. So it's subtartar nerve, but you know very well this anatomical definition of the ilio-obturatrice area. Behind the obturator nerve, you have the obturator pedicule that it's mandatory to respect because obturatrice artery is a very big artery and it can induce bleeding if you injury. So we have to try to save it. You have levator muscle at the end of your feet, and progressively you are going to advance and to reach contact with the pelvic bone and the cloacae ligament. So now we have described the laparoscopic base of this technique, so it's not necessary to let all the video of this surgery. I just would like to show you the final approach to show you the So we approach to the end of the job on the left side. So it's the last pack which is in the triangle between external and internal iliac artery, I said. You see the ureter which is here, which is running over the iliac artery. Every pack is placed in the bag. You have still a little pack in the place out of the external limit of obturator nerve, and we think that it's important to remove them too. This localization is called obturatrice area. So you have ilio-obturatrice close to the bone and obturatrice out of the external limit of obturator nerve, and so you can find nodes at this place. And uses this kind of extensive lumpectomy, give you a mean number of nodes between 15 and 20 on both sides. So it's a very good way of staging of the tumor. So at the end, you have the obturator nerve, which is here, the umbilical artery, which is here, pushed to the middle line to get free this obturatrice area, clipping for the bigger vessels. And at the end, so at the end, you understand that it's very easy to check that you have been complete, because you have a complete freedom of all the vascular system. You have a nice division of the branches of hypogastric artery. You have a space between artery and vein, and you have no visible fat and nodes remaining between the pedicles and the pubic and muscular plane. So it's considered that this kind of lymphadenectomy is complete. So we have to perform the same job on the opposite side. About indications, it's not specifically the objective of this school to give oncological indication, but we can use the European guidelines about this lymphadenectomy. We consider that in a low risk level of Lamico, risk of metastasis in nodes is very low, it's inferior to 5%. So lymphadenectomy is an option. You have not to perform systematically, and if you perform, you can perform a limited ilio-obturatrice lymphadenectomy. Intermediate risk, risk of node metastasis is very higher, it's between 15 and 20% to 30%. And so it's mandatory to perform lymphadenectomy, and of course you have to perform extensive lymphadenectomy because the surface of ilio-obturatrice area will be too limited to be sure of the complete checking of the risk of nodes. And of course, iris cancer, it's mandatory to perform lymphadenectomy. Sometimes you can be called by the oncologist to perform just extensive lymphadenectomy to give to the oncologist the staging of development of the tumor, and they need sometimes this kind of nodes staging before the decision of the local treatment of the cancer. And of course, you have to perform a complete, like I described, lymphadenectomy. And of course, you have to use a laparoscopic transperitonal way because it's a modern way and it's a minimalist surgery. So we are going to talk at the end of this session about the place of your progressive practice in laparoscopy, and we are going to say that this lymphadenectomy can be very important for you because it's very good training. It's without too much risk and dangers. It's very good for your patient, and it's a possible indication which is developing more and more in the case of staging of iris tumors. If you have some questions about this technique, we can take a few minutes.